I'm gonna show the YouTube / online stream audience. I have a bracket in front of me.
I too have a bracket.
Dennis has a bracket. I tried to turn my mic off so the other camera would turn on and you could show yours.
It's all good.
There we go. We got brackets. You can't see what's written on it, but I'm holding up a sheet of paper. It is here, and it is real, and it is spectacular. There you go.
Brackets, folks. Brackets.
Here's my annual. I do this once a year. Okay, and it's right on. Usually I do it on Wednesday. Tomorrow will actually be on before the games get started. A bit of programming news will be on at 10 a.m. So I could save this till tomorrow, but by that point, most of the brackets are locked and loaded anyway. Mm-hmm. If you're in any kind of, hand, my family league, you still have to fill it out by hand. You can't. Okay. There's no online apps or anything.
I respect that.
It's old school.
I respect that.
Usually you have to have them in by Wednesday, or you have to have them at least submitted, postage stamped, whatever, by Wednesday. Here's my there's only a few speeches I give like yearly. This is one of them. Every year when I fill out my bracket, okay, I realize something. I genuinely do not know anyone in my life that consumes more sports content than I do. Dennis can second this. Every day from morning until show, I have a video podcast playing, something sports related, oftentimes college basketball. And then on the other side of my computer, I have either something I am reading about sports, oftentimes college basketball, or an open notes app, and I am typing my thoughts about something sports, often college basketball.
Yeah.
Occasionally, I pry myself away from that screen to have a conversation about something sports, often college basketball, with Dennis or with someone else around the office. And then I go home and guess what? Play with my son for a little bit. We have some games, eat some dinner, and then I watch more sports, often college basketball. And so every year I sit down to do my bracket and I think nobody's going to be more prepared for this than I am. And then I get like 2 games in and I realize there's a matchup of 2 teams that I know absolutely nothing about. It is physically impossible. All of the college basketball insiders on television that are going to read you their bracket as if they know. At best, they have bullet points on like half the teams. There's no way you could watch all of the teams. There's no way. So pick your teams, right? That's always my advice. Pick the teams you like. Pick the teams you want to root for. Pick the teams that are more fun to have go further in your bracket because, and I say this as somebody that has tried to know it all, nobody knows it all.
No one does. Not even close.
I don't care. It could be your job. It is our job. Right, and then you get to the top left, and you're like, UConn, all right, cool. UConn Stetson, I know a lot about UConn. Feel like I'm confident in that one. Florida Atlantic, I remember them from last year. Got something going on there, cool. UAB, San Diego State. When's the last time I watched Ivy League basketball? Yale?
Never.
We got to know yet. Not never. I used to cover Cornell. Relax now. But this year, never. You want
to talk Ivy League lacrosse, I'm your guy.
All I know is Dartmouth is unionizing, and that doesn't tell me how good Yale basketball team is. So we're going to go over our picks. This is why my strategy for bracket organization is to work in reverse. Pick the teams that you think are very good. Pick the teams that you think have a legitimate shot to win a national championship, and put them as far as you feel comfortable putting them. And then fill out retroactively. Because you're going to try to agonize over, let's say you're a gigantic, Purdue fan. You're Zach Edey till you die, which, your bracket did last year. Let's say you're a big Purdue fan. You're going to agonize over Utah State and TCU. And then you're going to recognize, they're going to lose to Purdue in the second round anyway because I'm a massive Purdue fan. That's not me. That's just an example. So work in reverse. Work in reverse. And when I worked in reverse, guess what I learned about my bracket this year?
What's that?
It's chalky plus Kansas.
I know you have not seen my bracket probably, but we are very similar.
Really? That's disappointing.
Is it?
I don't know. I feel like we got to compete or something. I have UNC, UConn, and Houston in my Final Four. And then I have Kansas as my surprise. Is that exactly what you have?
I have UConn, UNC, Houston, Kansas.
Oh, man. Now I want to change it.
I posted mine yesterday on X, by the way, so it's been out there.
I did not look at yours on X.
And so it's been out there, just to clarify.
So what is this segment? Is just going to be me saying something and you going, yep, and then you saying something and me
Well,
going,
I mean, we can also go through like how far we have Duke, NC State going. We can go through some of those things, but also who's your champion. You have a final score. Give me some of these things.
I don't have a final score, at least not yet. I have UConn over Houston. It's chalky.
Oh, you have UConn over Houston. Okay, I have North Carolina over Kansas.
Okay. All right, so we differentiate there. All right, now I feel a little bit better. Here's how far I put Duke. You ready? And this is a description before I tell you exactly how far I actually put them. I put them as far as I could put a soft team. I think they can out-talent their way past Vermont. I think they can out-talent their way past who I have JMU in that next round. I think it could be Wisconsin as well. And then they lose to Houston. Because I just don't see them against another top talent team being able to grit their way to a win and probably a close game. I think they can out-talent their way over some mid-majors, and then it'll be an early second weekend exit, I should say.
I have Duke winning in the first round and then actually beating JMU in the second round. I have JMU upsetting Wisconsin, but still losing to Houston in the Sweet 16.
State, I have them beating Texas Tech. I think the hot hand, and then I have them losing to Kentucky.
Likewise.
Which is as much about Kentucky as it is NC State. I think Kentucky has two pretty darn stud, including Reed Shepherd, who has kind of come out of nowhere to be a lighted up scorer. So I just think there's a level there that is going to prove itself. But hey, winning a game in the NCAA tournament for NC State based on where they were a week and a half ago, I don't even think you should be upset. I don't think that's very much a smile because it happened, not cry because it's over style run.
I agree.
What was it about Kansas that made you put? Now I'm so upset. I thought Kansas was going to be my if Kansas looks good, I'm going to look like a genius because no one else is going to pick it. It's a 4 seed that I have in the Final Four, which actually happens more rare than you think. What are you seeing from Kansas?
A big part of it for me was I don't trust Purdue, especially since they got knocked out in the first round last year, and I didn't think they looked that great losing to Wisconsin in the Big Ten tournament. It's more or less I don't have confidence in Purdue from what I've seen from Purdue.
What about Creighton? What about Texas?
I have Creighton.
Tennessee?
I have Creighton going all the way to the Elite Eight.
Gosh, darn it!
What?
I have Creighton.
Did you copy my brackets?
I swear to you,
sitting on my cubicle all day.
I didn't even know you posted. Oh, I definitely didn't look at it on your office. I have there are teams I have sweet spots for. Creighton is one of them. I used to cover them when I was in Nebraska. I like the way McDermott coaches. So actually, I'll tell you this. I am notoriously reactive in these situations. Mm-hmm. I watched last night, and I saw what I believed was UVA hasn't, and I know it's going back on something I said yesterday, but it was pounded into my brain. UVA hasn't won a game since 2018 in the NCAA tournament, aside from they won 5 or 6, whatever it was, to win the national championship.
Yeah. Other
than that, they've lost every single NCAA tournament game they've had in the last 7 years. So I was like, you know what? Maybe Tony Bennett's style just doesn't add up to NCAA success. Reactionary. I know it is. He has a national championship. How in the world can I sit here and say his style doesn't add up to NCAA tournament success? But when I filled out my bracket today, I did catch myself looking for coaches that have done it before. I did catch myself looking for teams that have been in Final Fours recently. Mm-hmm. I did catch myself looking for teams that have been on runs. And I think Bill Self is one of those guys that, maybe he flubbed some lines outside of basketball for a while there, and maybe the NCAA had some investigations. Yeah. But once the whistles start, he's a very good in-game coach. So I kind of leaned in that direction.
Gaseous Clay on YouTube Live on the comment section says, Kansas does not survive the first weekend. Which, you know what? If that happens, wouldn't be shocked either. Because nothing surprises me in the NCAA tournament now.
No, but I'd be shocked if they lose to Samford. Let's be real. It's a 4 versus a 13.
Yeah.
And then Gonzaga had a down year this year.
I have McNeese State beating Gonzaga.
Well, okay, I don't have that, but I'm not super surprised by that. 12 versus 5 is always a popular upset.
Oh yeah.
And the Zags had a down year. We'll break it down a few more times throughout the day, but just know that I guess Dennis and I have talked so much about sports that our minds are melding.
Clearly.